all on Joe Biden. Like they put it all on Obama. Part of the reason why the Democratic Party lost so much in those years is that people put it all on Obama. This is like the Stacey Abrams answer. It's not just looking to the president, even a Democratic president to fix this. It's like at every state, in every community in this country, people who care about democracy are going to have to roll up their sleeves and do a lot of work. I mean, and this is going to take like 10 or 20 years to try to fix this.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Just sort of as a last question is what are the most important changes you think need to be made, the kind of structural reforms that need to be done over the next 10 to 20 years to get us back to a place of, some sense of normalcy and equilibrium in this country?
Yeah. And I do want to say, like, I'm kind of sky is falling here. Like obviously like some things are going well in the United States, like the economy is going pretty well. Like we've got some things working for us here. That said, I think one is this kind of democracy agenda and dealing with, redistricting, but getting back to dealing with money in politics, because I trace so much of this to like Citizens United and just this flood of dark money and this corruption, endemic corruption of American politics. We really have to get at that. And again, obviously protecting the right to vote for people in this country. At the same time, then I look at the other issues I talk about in my book. Technology, we have to regulate these social media platforms. We have to regulate the way in which artificial intelligence is going to utilize our data, unless we kind of want to live in a society that, in which we're splintered into these algorithm determined tribes, that are radicalized against one another, So there's a huge policy conversation that needs to move faster, I think, in terms of how we regulate. What are the guardrails we're putting around technology in this country? Like I said, on national security, I'd like to see us kind of reorient away from this kind of hyper focus on a bunch of terrorists in a handful of countries to these bigger challenges. And there are things that can be done there, I think, to combat corruption globally and to try to revitalize the democratic world. And then, on the economic side, I just think we're so long overdue for a correction in terms of dealing with basic inequality, because, I think that sense of people just feeling like they're getting screwed, ironically, it's led people to the right, not the left. But I understood that a lot better after writing this book, because the same thing happened in Hungary. And again, it was someone saying, you're getting screwed, but come put on the nationalist jersey. And you may still be getting screwed, but at least you can feel like a winner, And that's what Putin does in Russia. Same thing. That's the playbook. And so I think that, ironically, to save democracy, we have to make capitalism more equitable.
Are you not concerned at all about a kind of a rising left-wing populism that could take root at some point? I mean, I just think about my daughters, and their friends who are always calling themselves communists and seeing absolutely nothing good about democratic capitalism.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had the experience, Dan. I taught a couple of classes at UCLA and USC. And I mean, like, I don't think anyone supported Joe Biden. And I mean, I think, Elizabeth Warren was like the moderate in the race, and Bernie was like, okay. But I mean, I don't think people realize how far left, certainly at least the people that are going to college in this country. And that's a whole other conversation about education, but like how far left they're going. I think thus far, I think it's been healthy. I think that like the Sanders and Warren campaigns had a very positive impact on where Joe Biden landed on a bunch of these issues and on raising some of the types of questions I'm raising. I do think that if you don't put it this way, if you don't show those people that the U.S. government, the American democracy is capable of responding to what they're seeing in terms of unfairness and inequality and injustice and climate change to your daughter's generation, then they're going to opt out just like the right. And we're going to be in a pretty dicey situation here in this country where there's kind of a growing chasm here. So thus far, I think it's been a positive force. I think that if there's, let's just say if the worst scenario happens and the Republicans, and from my perspective, take back, the House in 22 and then take the presidency in 24, even though they probably will lose the popular vote by even more than Trump did last time. I mean, young people are going to be like, screw this. This is not fair. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. And I don't know what kind of world we're in that situation. It's not a good one. But I remain hopeful that doesn't have to be the outcome.
Well, I was going to say on that bleak note, we're going to end, but you remain hopeful.
This is why I wanted to crawl under the table.
Yeah, we need to help us get your old boss on the podcast. He's a little more optimistic.
He is. But
it's because he's a politician, right?
Yeah.
He has to be.
We all, like what he also said. Well, no, that's right, Mike, because we all have a role, right? And a role of a politician is optimism. Who wants a pessimistic politician? I kind of elected, to kind of be a writer who could take the fact of having once been in power to try to be radically honest, and again, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong about a bunch of stuff, but I'm just, I'm telling you how I see it.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, the book is After the Fall. By the way, wasn't that an Arthur Miller play, After the Fall?
Oh, I don't know. But what I know it is that after I titled it this, I Googled it. Just to make sure, and there was a children's book about Humpty Dumpty called
there's that too.
that I bought, and my daughters love it, but it's kind of an eerie parallel.
All right. Anyway, all right. Being American in the World We've Made, Ben Rhodes, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Want the epic stuff, the extraordinary stuff, the edge of your seat stuff? You know, the good stuff. With AMC Plus, you can watch the best of AMC, BBC America, IFC, Sundance Now, Shudder, and more. Hungry for horror? Feast on Shudder's chilling originals like Creepshow Season 2 and killer premieres like Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. Got a need for speed? The boys are back with an epic tour of the UK as Top Gear races through a new season. All available on AMC Plus, ad-free and on demand. Start your free trial today at amcplus.com. AMC Plus, only the good stuff.